So, who exactly is that old dwarf guy anyway? How'd he end up in your party in the first place? And why is he so obsessed with making food? Huh? How do you not know the answer to that? You all act like you're old buddies!
I mean, I suppose we've never had a chance to ask.
I can relate not wanting to discuss personal matters with people. Although, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't curious. There are several things that I'm still hung up on. Do you remember what he said to us back when we first met him? It's been a decade since he started researching monster food in this dungeon. But this dungeon was only discovered 6 years ago.
That's true.
Also, every single piece of cookware he uses is made from high-quality metal. He was able to decipher ancient dwarven codes. He's afraid of a monster from a floor we just reached, and he always treats me like a child.
Isn't that last one a misunderstanding?
No. People who don't know about our kind usually jump to that conclusion. They don't realize that half-foots are another race. So they assume that we become a tall man or a dwarf when we get older. However, that only comes from a few regions like the East. If he's lived here 10 years, there's no reason he shouldn't know. Could it be that Senshi isn't from the surface?
Sometime after we rescue him, why don't we ask him to reintroduce himself to us?
Hey, Senshi. My name is Chillchuck. I was born in a small village found in a basin to the northeast. Since about 10 years ago, I've been doing odd jobs in various dungeons. Picklocking, translation, even being the middleman. Also, I have a wife and kids, but for reasons I haven't seen them in a while. Well, that about sums it up for my backstory. You mind telling us some stuff about you? How'd you end up living in this dungeon? Did something happen?
My name is Senshi of Isganda. I used to be a member of a small mining group. And while I say a mining group, we weren't actually looking to collect ore. What we were really after were ruins that stood before the war, hoping to strike it rich. But ore is most of what we dug up each day, of course. If we were lucky, we would come across a few relics like cogwheels and lenses every once in a while. Then one day, after some usual digging, we dug our way to something huge. An ancient castle, brilliantly shining with gold. That's right. It was this very dungeon. So I've been meaning to ask, why'd you and your sister become adventurers anyway?
Huh? Us?
You two don't really strike me as get-rich-quick kind of folks.
It's a bit of a long story, but when I was in my teens, I got fed up with the people in my hometown. So I went to school, then joined the military. Unfortunately, I didn't fit in there either. At some point, I joined a passing merchant caravan.
Wait, he's a deserter?
I did chores for them as we gradually traveled south. Falin was living at the magic school in the area, so I stopped by just to see her, but she insisted on following me. The two of us arrived at this island together. When we first got here, gold stripping was prospering, which meant there was plenty of guard work. Us taking those jobs is what led to us entering this dungeon. And that's our story.
Hard to believe you did all that without a single plan. Your whole thing makes sense, but why did Falin tag along? I feel like her life would have been easier at school.
If I'm being honest, Falin's childhood wasn't great for her. She had a talent for magic, but was shunned for it. I got sick of living in that environment, so I left the village a year before she did. Until magic school, no. Until she met Marcel, she probably ate her meals alone. When I think about it, it hurts my heart. Though, mentally, Falon's a lot tougher than I could ever dream of being, so it's quite possible she didn't let it bother her. Regardless, I decided I'd never leave Falin behind again. Not till she meets someone new that she wants to be with all the time, anyway.
What are you doing? Stop it!
Falin, she would always pick up weird things and bring them to me. Like strange smelling fruits or bits of grass and herbs. I never knew why she chose me specifically.
I bet she wanted to eat that stuff with you.
I wanna eat another good meal with her again.
I'm sure we will soon.